I don't actually know where exactly I am right now. Relatively, I do, but I took an unworn, unbeaten path, and some of this is very rarely used, I can tell, although someone does bother to mow it. And actually, I love to not know exactly where I am if I don't have an appointment or something to worry about where I have to meet the needs of other people. I think this might be connecting to a path that I know. And isn't it wonderful that someone or associations did have the good graces to have this available right in the middle of a city of 130,000 people. I can just feel my blood pressure drop. It's almost as if I'm in the Brothers Grimm fairy tales or something. I might have to go back in there in a bit just to check things out. But I have been wanting to talk about the UK, and a couple of you watching regularly are there, and I don't know how people living there will take it, because I find that, like Americans or really anywhere else at the end of the day, to have analysis done by an outsider can be sort of offensive. But I have always been something of an Anglophile. I watch British media pretty closely relative to other people I know, and I've known a lot of people from there over the years. But I have not been there since 2005. And when I did go there, I was very alarmed by the class differences, the segregation that's not necessarily racial, but class segregation for sure. And I've just never seen such extremely varied life outcomes before. Like, I figured the United States would be much worse in this regard. And a lot of places are quite dangerous. As time has gone by, I have noticed that from all I've been hearing and observing, it's getting more intense. And last year I encountered a lot, especially when I was working at a hostel in Montreal and had sort of a residency gig there where I was doing tarot readings there and stuff. And I can't remember how it came up, but a lot of young people from the London area, like about 5 years younger than me, early 20s, or closer to 20, were just going on and on about how proud they were of the country and stuff like that. And somehow it came up that Windsor is not the real name of the royal family. I mentioned this. And they said, "What?" I said, they're German. The royal houses of Europe are all mixed, of course. But this family is German, and they changed their name about 100 years ago to rally the cause of the war and so forth. And they were just so crushed. Like, this one girl said, "Are you just trying to destroy everything I believe in?" And some other things came up. It's really expensive there. If the property bubble is considered bad here, it's really bad there. And about 2 years ago, when the crisis was deepening in Europe, I did a tarot reading because it was right around the time there were those riots, and I think that started from a teenage criminal being killed by the police. Honest to God, I really can't remember now because it's all so blurred with so many events going on and so on, you know. Anyway, all of these riots were happening, and then my friends from the UK who've been here in the States a lot said there's no way that would ever happen in the States. Although a lot of BS does happen over here, as we all know. I think the worst we've seen in recent times was out in California when the students were pepper sprayed and the police claimed that they were surrounded and had to do it, but the videos you see clearly indicate that there's all this open space behind them and the students were just sitting down. It's also like when Jill Stein, the Green Party presidential candidate, just tried to enter the campus of the university where the second presidential debate was happening, Hofstra University, and she was arrested with her running mate, handcuffed to a chair and not allowed to go to the bathroom for 8 hours. But back to the UK, I did this reading because a lot of people were really predicting a lot of doom and stuff there. And the way it came out is that basically the overall society is going to continue this horrific decline. But about 20% of the people, again, that 80-20 rule comes into play. About 20% of the people